Skaro, free Skaro!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 793. I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
We're doing the third episode of the Torchwood commentary series today. What's it called? What's the episode called?
Ghost Machine.
The Ghost Machine.
Yes,
Co-starring...
as you publicized the one with Gareth Thomas.
It's got Gareth Thomas in it. Does it also have John Normington? Well, listen, we recorded these back in December.
Yes,
okay, it does have John Normington, yeah. I know he was in it. I'm thinking, when does John Normington show up? Because they're in Series 2. There's Richard Briers, from Paradise Towers fame, that also shows up as a dying man in Torchwood. So it's like, this is where we're at. All the people who played prominent guest starring roles in the 70s and 80s in Blake Seven and Doctor Who are now like, oh, I'm near to death now in Torchwood. Okay. I know, it's depressing. It's great, Richard Briers, but he's being cast as someone dying. Well, that's sad.
Well, that's right, he is, isn't he? I'm picturing like big bed and pajamas.
Yeah, that's all I remember. I think, that's Richard Briers. I don't remember anything from Torchwood Series 2, but I remember, wait a minute, the guy from Paradise Towers is in there. That's right. He's playing a dead man. And then Owen goes to see him or something. I think Tosh is involved. Anyway, when we do the Series 2
we'll find out when we do Series 2, yeah.
It'll be exciting. It'll be really exciting.
In a year or whenever it's going to happen.
Yeah. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff to happen between now and then. Like 10 more episodes of Torchwood, obviously, after today. And then who knows what? We'll be in the summer by then. We'll be into the late summer by the time these Torchwood commentaries are done. Yet another thing to sort of like keep pace with this pandemic to try and distract us all from the constant hell that we live in. Yeah. But we're getting there, but slowly. Vaccines aren't the 100% the answer is what we're finding, basically. It's not like, hey, I got my vaccine. I can now run around and lick lampposts everywhere. You can't do that.
Damn it. I've been looking forward to licking a lamppost for like a year and a half. And, those precious Chinese doorknobs. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You can lick all the lampposts you want. Just, expect bad things to happen. And it doesn't even have to involve COVID.
No.
I don't even remember the whole
like
doorknob
staph
controversy.
infections or something.
I did see a thing from the CDC in the U.S. said that, you really can't pick it up from surfaces. It's been airborne the whole time. We just I remember
Surprise.
Yeah.
I was going to pull it out here because I have it right like 2 feet away from me. I got my first vaccination shot Saturday last weekend.
Uh-huh.
And on the little summary COVID-19 vaccine info sheet from Alberta Health Services on the back page, it says, amongst other things, how can I prevent COVID-19 from spreading?
Oh.
How does it spread?
Okay.
If you touch something that carries the virus, like hands or a doorknob, then touch your eyes, mouth, or nose. So according to the official wording from Alberta Health, yes, you can pick it up from surfaces.
It still is there.
Well, I'm just washing these pineapples. Don't mind me.
I'd like to think this is not necessarily that outdated for information, given vaccines are a fairly new thing on the whole.
I suppose. So there's still a lot of hygiene theater going on. A lot of hygiene theater.
There's a lot of it, I think, is theater. God, we're going to sound like bad people here or something.
Staser, anti-maskers.
I mean,
be careful. Still wash your hands a lot and stuff like that.
I mean, it's better to sort of overreact at the early stages and go, everything is a danger. Be very careful, and then not to sort of think anything at all, which is what we did. Which is why now, I bought like a buy one, get one free tub of antibacterial wipes because I thought, sure, I got a clean kitchen counter still. I don't necessarily have to disinfect it, but these will work just as well as any other one.
But you're also, like, if you're using it in the kitchen, foodborne bacteria and stuff like that
that's true.
Is its own danger. Like,
if
you're cutting raw chicken on your kitchen counter or something. Well, you're a vegetarian. So
As a
if your
vegetarian
wife
for the
is
past
cutting raw chicken
16
on the
years,
kitchen counter.
she's never done that either,
And then
actually.
licking the cutting board,
just immediately, like not even like
as one does.
Just make sure you get nice deep grooves into the counter, just so the bacteria can hide.
Salmonellicious.
Let's do it. Anyway, so well done, Chris, on getting the first half of your vaccine deployment. Warren and I still wait. We still wait.
Yep. Tappingfingers.gif. That's me.
Yeah. So anyway, I should tell you, I started, because I've had to do a lot of mental busy work projects over the course of the past year and a bit, because I'm not one to just sort of watch TV and sort of like, lose myself that way as we wait for this all to be over. So,
and you didn't buy a Switch in Animal Crossing, so. I
did not know that was the early. It's quite fortuitous that Animal Crossing launched a week before everyone went into lockdown in North America and the UK. I decided a while ago to do this, and I only finally did it. Started on it, I should say, this past week, which is this. I purchased all the audiobook versions of the missing stories. They come out in 4 volumes. The 5th volume actually has come out. They've already been released, but they've sort of been repackaged in new packages. And
we've talked about them not that long ago. Yeah,
we did. Yeah, the 5th one comes out in May, I believe. And anyway, so I bought them. They're like the missing episodes. They're narrated often by people in them, like Peter Purves and stuff like that. And what I've always kind of wanted to do, because for my own personal enjoyment, you understand, not for distributing as elsewhere, because it would be wrong, is to take the loose cannon and or other fan recons out there, which are like 8th generation VHS tape in some cases, the ones that I've managed to get a hold of. I think they're all on Daily Motion for what it's worth. And put on the soundtrack from the freshly spruced up by Mark Ayers audiobook versions of them, so they match up. And so that's what I started doing. And then I realized, though, is that it's not like a straight, like it just syncs up automatically, because sometimes the tape speed is different on the loose cannon version. So I've had to sort of futz a bit here and there with the timing and stuff. And I thought, oh well, the credits kind of look bad too. So I've actually gone back and redone the closing and opening credits for some of these. And here's the thing: it's just for me. These aren't things I'm going to post on the web because it would be copyright infringement and stuff. So I'm doing this just for me.
That doesn't make you any less crazy.
No, it's a lot of fun.
It's a good thing you're already married, because.
Yeah, well, I mean, Erica can be the because I'm not going to spoil which story, but they are looking at watching a recon for later in the year on Verity. Yeah. And I sort of said, well, actually, I might be able to do a better version of it by the time you do that. So they've had to do a slight rescheduling of their anything to based on.
Congratulations!
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to do. I just started this past week, and I did all of Marco Polo, the 2 episodes of The Crusade, and I also inserted for the Crusade, episodes 1 and 3 exist, so I inserted the cliffhangers at the beginning of it of the missing episodes, because I could reuse them again. It was a lot of fun.
Loose Cannon did as well in some cases.
I spent COVID grant money to buy Dragon Frame and make Broton, so who am I to talk?
Exactly, right? These are the things we tried to do to get by, and it's fun. It's fun being creative a little bit like this. It's sort of like, I could finding the font thanks to Clayton Hickman's Twitter feed that I bookmarked several years ago with all the right proper fonts,
or the
stuff.
shirt he made with all the typefaces.
The shirt he made,
which I bought.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time, but it's giving me so much satisfaction to be able to do. And the sad thing is that the one that I have, I don't know where I got all these. You understand? The one I have for Dalek's Master Plan already has the audio stuff on there. The credits are pretty much proper, so I think I can't really improve on this. Oh, fine. So there's 13 episodes, including Mission to the Unknown, that I don't have to do, but I kind of wanted to do them.
You just got to make them better and start putting images of yourself in there.
I don't want to do that. I
The,
never want.
what the fanfic writers would call a self-insert.
Oh yeah, Clive Cussler. No, I don't. I never wanted to actually create using the telesnaps, because that's the arduous process, and the loose cannon folks, especially with the John Wiles era, because no telesnaps exist.
And how many telesnap Lego reconstructions of fluid links things have you done?
I know. Imagine doing that. Like, I'd have to build a set. I have to build all these sets, and like I'd have to build all these. No, it'd be so much work to do, and then it wouldn't be the actual on-screen thing.
I'm not saying build Lego recons, but you could.
I could. I did briefly consider it several years ago, but it's just too much work. But so anyway, that's what I've done. Has anyone out there? Anyway, tweet at us. Have you done any ludicrous Doctor Who related make work projects to keep your mind satisfied during the course of the pandemic? Feel free to tweet at us at Radio Free Skaro.
My entire Dolly output. There you go.
I was going to say, does producing RFS count?
Kind of, not really. I mean,
this is not new to the pandemic.
How much has
neither
changed?
Are bookshelf doctors.
Yeah.
But the stop motion stuff is.
Yeah.
True. Yes.
Yeah. How much has really changed for us? Let's face it. Podcast wise, very little. We did episodes about the pandemic. We just talked about it for 10 minutes now. But apart from that, there's your Torchwood commentary. We were probably going to do that anyway. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Still no plans for a Sarah Jane Adventures commentary, though.
No, I don't think so.
Well,
I don't even
do
have...
we could do a Patreon thing for like Invasion of the Bane.
Thank you.
I haven't seen Invasion of the Bane in a
probably since it went out.
Probably.
I think I barely watched it then.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen all the episodes. I only have up to season 3 on DVD, and they are not easy to get a hold of. And I don't know where they are. I know Torchwood exists on BritBox. I don't think Sarah Jane Adventures does.
In worst case, you could probably buy reasonably inexpensive UK DVD sets.
I think they might be on. I can't even remember if 4 and 5 came out on DVD here in North America. It's been a while. Like 5, of course, sadly was only 6 episodes because Sladen died.
Sladen died, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember what the. I know I have the episode somewhere because you get them, but I like having a proper package.
The Sarah Jane Adventures Complete Collection Series 1 to 5 DVDs, £29
in the
on
UK,
Amazon UK. Obviously, you're paying a buttload for shipping as well. And you're not sure if it's going to even work in your machine. I noticed that BBC. If you have a multi-region player, you'll be fine.
If you have, because I bought the BBC Shada Blu-ray from the UK, and it works on my Xbox, like no questions asked. Yeah. I bought the Life of the Brian Pern collection, also from on Blu-ray from the BBC. That works, but other things not from the BBC don't work. So, like, is it a BBC thing that they're like region free? Is that a thing? These are the questions I want to know. These are the Daves I know.
Yeah, so seasons 4 and 5 looks like they did come out in North America.
Okay, well, I've just been negligent.
Amazon Canada is listing the same UK 1 to 5 box set for $62.
Yeah, that's where I bought the Brian Pern set from Amazon.ca anyway, but
which is probably comparable to what you'd pay from Amazon UK.
Yeah, but would it work in the machine? This is the thing. This is the thing. Would to segue into our first topic, would the UK versions work in the machine? I'm not going to drop a whole bunch of money on a box set from the UK because, as I keep saying, I like to vote with my dollars and buy the North American versions to show the BBC Lionheart, because that's what they're called, BBC Lionheart, that we want the North American versions to come out when the UK versions do. And so that's why I buy the North American versions and I wait 3 months. But hey, this is exciting. According to the Canadian BBC shop and nowhere else, the season 24 Blu-ray is coming out in North America on August 3rd, which means probably the UK will get it in June.
This is a comparable tease to the endless Black Widow's coming out. No, it isn't. Black Widow's coming out. No, it isn't. James Bond's coming out. Nah, it isn't.
Yeah. Yeah,
And,
but hey,
Top Gun and Mission Impossible just got pushed back as well.
Except those are in theaters, so there's a reason for it.
There is a reason.
Who knows?
not as much. But so August 3rd, and Mark Ayers in our interview whenever he was on the show, said that they're hoping to get one more set out before the end of the calendar year as well. So
Is that end of the calendar year in Britain or?
probably in Britain. I imagine. I would hope there wouldn't be that much of a delay because that's only August 3rd is nothing compared to like June 1st, June 8th, when we're getting the season 8 Blu-ray set here. So that's only like 3 months being separated. So I would hope that it would come out both in the UK and North America sometime before the end of the calendar year. So yeah, August 3rd for the season 24, which probably means it'll come out in June in the UK. So there's still a bit of a separation, but the UK doesn't even have a release date yet. So this is the first confirmation that we've had anywhere, and it's from the official Canadian BBC shop. So bank it, book that. You can pre-order it too. You can pre-order it anywhere, but didn't have a release date. So that's exciting. Yay! Season 24 box sets. Big episode coming up about that. Warren will be hosting it, and only Warren, and
It'll be our only 1 minute episode. It'll be actually like the Steve Roberts interview. No,
yeah.
In the words of Chris Rock, grand opening, grand closing.
Grand closing.
It'll basically be the audio equivalent of that meme of that little claymation penguin sitting on a chair. And it says, "Well, now I am not doing it," with his arms folded, and that is Warren right there, basically.
Either that or it's going to be the house on fire with the dog in the kitchen saying, "This is fine."
This is fine.
Oh, it is not fine at all.
No. So here's a thing that causes some consternation and amusement. The Dalek Terror, the record LP of like the 1970s Dalek annual stories. There's 4 of them. One per side, as read by Nicholas Briggs, Louise Jameson, Matthew Waterhouse, and John Colshaw, all reading stories. It's been released, but it's coming out on Record Store Day this year in 2021. Here's the thing that amused us, because everywhere it says, "Oh, get it on Record Store Day."
Actually,
yeah. Prepare for some Dalek Terror, the vinyl, available on Record Store Day, June 12th and July 17th. That's 2 days.
And my favorite part is at least on the British Record Store Day website.
Yeah.
From their About page, Record Store Day 2021 will be taking place on Saturday 12th June and Saturday 17th July.
1 day, 2 days. Gotcha.
Next paragraph.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Next paragraph. Record Store Day is the one day of the year when over 200 independent record shops, etc., etc. And then the next paragraph. Although there's only one record store day a year, we also work throughout the year, etc., etc. So, yeah.
Copywriting is so important. So important. Still, even in the pandemic, copywriting is still a very important thing. Yeah, so there's 2. Is this because there was no Record Store Day last year, and so they put 2 this year to sort of compensate? Is that the deal?
I could understand it if it was like, okay, maybe it's June 12th in the US and July 17th in the UK or something like that.
But no.
If it is, it's like there's no distinction of why there's 2 dates 5 weeks apart.
No, there isn't. And the funny thing is, it says Record Store Day, and they have a logo. It says Summer 2021. June 12th is not in summer. It's still in spring. So what is this? I don't know. Anyway, 2 days. There's 2 days. Pick your day. It's available both days, June 12th and July 17th.
Sure.
On the Georgian
unless it
calendar.
sells out on the first one and is not available on the second.
Maybe it's a Georgian calendar thing. Is that what it is? Like,
yes, that's exactly
Ukrainian Orthodox or something like that. Oh, okay. Well, that's for that. Oh, that makes much more sense.
I think maybe it's Record Store Day and Lunar Record Store Day.
That could be it too. Anyway, there's 2 of them, and you can get the Dalek Terror LP those days.
I never read any of those Terry Nation Dalek annual things.
I've never read anything.
Nor have I.
No.
I think it's very much a UK thing, isn't it?
Like in general, I've never read anything, but
well, that's also true.
Yeah, I'm sure they've been republished. A lot of stuff has been republished.
Oh, probably.
But, So anyway, enjoy Record Store Day.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Wonderful Record Store Day. All of them.
Nice. Nicely played.
Nicely worded. There's a Kickstarter for a comic, folks. Devil's End issue 1. It's a comic starring Olive Hawthorne, of course, from the Demons, as played by Damaris Heyman back in the day. There's a group putting together a comic version of her adventures against, which is kind of cool, actually, if you think about it. There's a Kickstarter. You could support it. You could probably push them over the goal. We're recording this on Saturday morning. They might be over their goal at this point right now. They're at $560. They need $626. There's already a bunch of backers. You can be one of them. You can be one of them.
That's the Canadian amount. It works out to about $500 US. Is their goal?
Oh, okay, yeah, this is the thing. Anyway, it's achievable, and he gets stuff. He gets, of course, stretch goals and all that stuff too. So yes, go for it. Links in the show notes at radiofreescar.com. You can help contribute to this. There's 6 different covers for it and everything. So yep, very cool. Devil's End comic book Kickstarter. Check it out.
Neato.
Yep. Would you like to buy a screen used Dalek prop? It's not a hypothetical question. Would you?
I don't know if that was rhetorical or not, but yes.
It started out, but then it's not. I'm thinking maybe I should ask the room if you're interested in doing that. No,
well, like I said, if it's multiple thousands of dollars, then no. Otherwise, maybe.
No,
the expected value to fetch at auction is £18,000.
Yes, there's one going on the blocks this week, April 13th. At the Out of the Ordinary auction. It's expected. It's an actual screen used Dalek. It's Dalek Sec.
Apparently, but it's also from the Series 9 two-parter, which was Dalek Sec in that?
No, but every Dalek was
parts of them were.
Asylum Daleks, yeah.
I guess that could be like a internal title or something.
Oh yeah,
every Dalek they could find was in that. So.
Yeah, look at Dalek 6388 for a history of all the Dalek props and how much they mixed and matched, and you could say every Dalek has been in everything, really.
£18,000 is about $31,000 Canadian.
It's a lot of money. We know, like Russell T Davies has a full-size Dalek. John Barrowman has a full-size Dalek. I don't know if either of those are screen used or if they're just like, hey, let's buy a Dalek because we can. But you could be of them. You could buy this Dalek. It's mostly made of wood, but also with fiberglass, metal, and plastic. I love that they're still made of wood. They were made of wood in the 1960s. They're still made of wood. It's pretty
of course
great.
they are.
If it works,
it's like shooting with models instead of CG.
Yeah,
Kinda.
Yeah. So, April 13th, it's going on the blog. I'm sure everyone's got like £18,000 just kicking around. You haven't been going in. I'm going on vacations.
Yes, that's what's happened. I've saved £18,000 in pounds somehow.
In pounds. Don't worry about those vacations. Buy a full-size screen-used Dalek instead.
And according to the article, like if the Dalek doesn't work out for you, apparently there's a taxidermy unicorn with a 2-meter wingspan expected to go for £8,000 to £12,000. That can be your fallback.
That's not a bad silver medal right there. I would take that.
As the pandemic winds down, we're still going to want isolating spaces, and Dalek, I can't think of a better one.
Oh my God! Like I would go into public in a Dalek, honestly, because I am protected. I am not spreading.
Keep away. Do not breathe. Do not breathe.
There's that thing from early in the pandemic last year that whatever British town where the Dalek was roaming the empty streets saying stay at home, and whatever.
That's not the actual Dalek, but pretty much the almost Dalek.
So, Stephen, you and I are fortunate enough to have Doctor Who fans as partners. Warren, if you showed up at home with a £18,000 screen-used Dalek, what would your partner say?
I think it would stop at £18,000, never mind whatever it was. So it was a vehicle. I don't know if that would go over too well. And I guess technically it is, so there we go.
I don't think at a Chicago TARDIS 3 or 4 years ago, there was some because there was someone there who brought, I think it was Alpha Centauri. I think somebody dressed up as Alpha Centauri, but couldn't actually once they put it together, it came in pieces. And then once they put it together, they couldn't take it apart, and so they basically said, "Free to a good home." Full-size Alpha Centauri costume, presumably
local,
and there were people like I know Linham, Michael Thomas were thinking, do we want to? No. Lynn said, no, we do not want that. And I thought,
that would take over an entire room. Like you'd basically have to dedicate that room to Alpha Centauri.
Yeah, but now they have a new house.
Things like that are basically the epitomization of angel on the shoulder, devil on the shoulder.
Or it's in your basement. It scares the living hell out of you because you forget it's there and you walk downstairs.
It was very
and all
much.
of a sudden, Alpha Centauri is there. Oh God!
As they were debating this, though, you can guess which side of that analogy, Chris, I was. I was obviously death. Yes, you need Alpha Centauri in your life.
Everyone needs a green hexapodal phallus in their basement.
With a high pitched voice.
I don't know if they found a home for that.
Especially
which is
if
a shame.
you could get she's still alive. Get his Ann Churchman to record some special message for you or something.
Look, all I want is my own Arcturus. That's all I want.
Just basically have basically put a Google Home inside Alpha Centauri. Have his Ann Churchman do all the voicing for it.
Or just up the pitch.
You'd have hey, Alpha Centauri, turn living room lights on, please. And then it's
one moment.
Yeah. Great idea. Oh, we missed out. I missed out on it.
And by great, you mean awful.
Pretty awful.
Great.
It's great.
This is great.
You're talking, Warren. You're talking to someone who is remaking remakes of a
That sounds pointless. Sign me up.
Yeah. So anything is on the table right now. Anything. Last in the news, this is great. Fictitious. We haven't done fictitious awards in a while, but the speaking of missing episodes and recreating missing episodes, the university crew that did the remake of the Doctor Who story, Mission to the Unknown, back in October 2019. I didn't realize it was that far long ago.
Good God, really?
Yeah, year and a half. University of Lancashire. They won an award. Hooray!
Good. Like I said, watching it, you forget it's not Doctor Who.
It's done really well because it's made as Doctor Who was made back in October of 1965, and they won the special jury award at the Learning on Screen Awards for stuff in 2020. It was an online award ceremony, but they won special jury, so good for them. It's really cool. It's still on. It probably will be for quite a while on the official Doctor Who YouTube page, so you could watch it. Maybe I should do the audiobook version on top of that and try to sync that.
I mean, sure, why not?
That would be a thing.
At least then you have some moving pictures. I don't know.
I suppose, maybe. Anyway, well done them. It's a very cool thing. And of course I had Nicholas Briggs there doing the Daleks voices and stuff. And
Peter
all the
Purvis and...
Yeah, Mark Edward D'Souza was there too. So it was a very cool thing. What a cool thing that was back in the halcyon days of October 2019 when we didn't know what was going to come.
A golden age of innocence.
Now, where are we going for dinner and then hanging out in a crowd?
Mm-hmm.
What concert will we see this weekend?
Which bunch of strangers will we be repulsed by on the tube, on an overcrowded tube?
Which overfilled movie theater will we attend?
Oh, you want to stay home? What kind of a weirdo are you?
Yeah. We'll be there again, folks. We'll be there again. But until then, enjoy this after the break. The commentary, our Torchwood Revisited commentary for Episode 3 of Torchwood Season 1, The Ghost Machine. Welcome back to Torchwood Revisited, everyone. We're wandering through Season 1 of Torchwood for the first time in many years, commentating over it, because we couldn't bring ourselves to have a solemn, serious discussion about each particular episode. We just sort of had to watch it and reminisce in our own way. So I don't know
if it's possible to have a solemn, serious discussion of all the episodes, because there's a lot of cheese.
I think maybe
just children of Earth.
Maybe it was made to not have solemn discussions about it. I don't know.
I mean, especially for Season 1. Season 2, it gets with the whole Owen death thing and whatever toward the end of the run and all that kind of stuff. There's some dark stuff in there, and it gets really super serial. But Season 1 it's just there's so many cringes. And this, as we'll get into tonight, I'm sure, for Ghost Machine that we're going to watch and talk all over. It is one of the more, as I remember it anyway, one of the better, more solid stories.
Yeah, reputable, I think is the word you almost landed on there. But yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, I remember thinking somewhat highly of this one, and perhaps episode 5 as well. But we don't get to do that. I noticed I didn't mention episode 4 in there. We'll get to that next week. But you betcha. But yes, as Chris mentioned, Ghost Machine, episode 3 of Torchwood season 1. I assume you've got all your legally purchased Blu-rays and DVDs all ready to go. Excellent. Here we go then, folks. Torchwood, Ghost Machine, season 1, episode 3. In 3, 2, 1, play.
And as we talked about last week with the trailer for this one, we have Blake in here as well.
That's right. Oh, thanks for taking away my one talking point about this episode.
What I want to know is,
you can talk about.
Do they recognize the Police album, Ghost in the Machine? Probably not.
It's probably a reference to that. Yeah.
I bet you it is. Ghost Machine, Ghost in the Machine. I think there's something else called Ghost Machine. I only know this because I looked at Wikipedia just before starting recording. And Ghost Machine Torchwood was down the list. So there's another Ghost Machine. No, listener, I did not check to see what that first Ghost Machine. And no, listener, I'm not worried about sounding like a Philistine for not knowing anything outside of Ghost Machine for Torchwood.
You are, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
So this is supposed to be the action-oriented arm of the Doctor Who body, and that's what we're getting right here.
Yeah.
All this frenetic cutting back and forth and running and low angles.
Yes, because we've never seen running on Doctor Who. Not once.
No, not at all.
Hammering on keyboards, because, that's what you do when you're...
You certainly don't get in Doctor Who what we're getting here, like, the black and white cuts and the freeze frame zoom in and...
Yeah, well, it's like CCTV,
the thing is,
as you know, but yeah.
Computer, people on computers is just boring. It's just boring to watch. So you have to frenetically zoom the camera around.
Yeah. Had to, cut in shots of, frantically typing the H key, which must do something.
Gwen almost lost her lucky red cap.
Yeah. I get that reference. Ha ha! Birdman. All
right. Nice.
Thank you.
I don't remember the name of the film, but it was an Albert Pyun film, which should tell you all you need to know. A very bad and now dead director.
Oh.
But anyway, it was all about something, but it had Rutger Hauer cashing a check. So he was the guy on the computer who's like, his whole thing is sitting there typing, going, so that's your game, the Renard, or whoever the terrorist was he was battling. And all he does is sit there and type the whole time. And then I think at the end he does some action thing because he's Rutger Hauer. It's just like, wow, great work if you can get it there, Hobo with a Shotgun, but come on.
Hobo with a Shotgun. Good old Rutger Hauer. Teardrops
which he's great
falling on my head. Yeah.
Never
press the button. Why would you do that? Why would you press the button? Oh, wow. Is that the ring? Is that like the One Ring kind of? Like this is what it does?
The Ring and the One Ring are quite different things.
True. Actually, very true.
Well, until the Japanese girl crawls out of Sora's
I was going to say.
Real problem.
There's like a TV and I put it on. There's all these ring rays coming out of TVs and stuff. And
the scene where Frodo and Sam watch the tape and only have the 7 days to live was kind of off-putting.
That's not that far off. It's actually quite far off.
Yeah, Boromir lent it to him because he watched it earlier that week. But
let me guess, this kid's off platform 9.5 or whichever it is.
8.5.
Harry Potter's platform.
What is it? What is it from Harry Potter?
I don't know.
9
I'm not a
3/4.
Harry Potter person.
This is back to the Blitz.
Back to the Blitz.
Evacuating people to the countryside and stuff.
Oh, so it is. What a time to be alive.
Not to be confused with the Torchwood episode Countryside.
Yeah.
Oh, God, we have that to look forward to.
I'm looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to that one.
I remember disliking it more than most.
Really?
We'll see how it goes.
I remember it being phenomenally violent.
Yeah,
very violent.
That's episode 6?
6, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it because, honestly, the one Torchwood quote I remember is Owen Teal at the end there, leading this cannibalist cult. And they're going, why did you do it? And you go, it made me happy. And that's the one line I remember for Torchwood. It's notable because we'll talk about this in 3 weeks, so apologies, folks. But that is what Torchwood would consider a pure historical, because there's no actual natural elements in that episode at all. It's all
even
just cannibals.
You're led to think there is kind of.
Yeah.
Helen
Raynor.
Helen Raynor, yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Writer of Daleks in Manhattan.
And the Sontaran two-parter. That's true.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah.
Little Worlds is the PJ Harmon one, not this one. I thought this one was Anyway.
I know, because you think Ghost,
yeah.
PJ Hammond.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I forget.
Okay. Oh, I put you off there, Chris. I'm sorry
for something about countryside, and I can't remember what it was now.
Spelled funny with a C.
No, that's artistic.
Oh, I know. I like it. It's countryside because like homicide, but it's countryside. It's clever. It's clever that way. Like this episode. Boy, I'm really noticing the slight vid fire on this early HD stuff. It's like if there were, when the Doctor Who classic Blu-rays get put out and then they're finished with all the new series, the modern series Blu-rays in like 2038, are they going to take a crack at Torchwood? And if so, are they going to you know what? Maybe we should properly vid fire this one and make it not look like it's part videotape, part filmized. Maybe it's a PAL to NTSA thing. I don't know.
Who remembers phone books? Yeah. Phone books were a thing.
Phone books. They aren't anymore. The IKEA catalog's even gone by the wayside after 7 years. I saw it today. Oh, John Normington's in this. I forgot about that. John Normington's right there. Yep. Ex of Caves of Angizzani, of course, and Happiness Patrol.
Mm-hmm. Warren would only know him from Happiness Patrol, of course.
Obviously, yeah.
I love it so much.
It's
no
your favorite.
Nicknames. Mm-hmm.
Favorite story in your favorite era.
Those are all untrue.
Oh, it'll give you a hand.
Is it? I'm just curious, Warren. Would you almost call Happiness Patrol as your least favorite story? If you had to pick a least favorite story, would that be it?
It's definitely down there. No, Ghostlight's probably my least favorite.
Because
of that era, Ghostlight. Because Ghostlight just gets on my nerves. So
I suppose. I just thought it would have been fascinating that my favorite story is Caves of Angizzani, and my least favorite is Happiness Patrol, and John Normington's in both somehow. And I thought that would have been.
You're speaking on my behalf. You don't hate Happiness Patrol.
I don't, Warren. I don't hate anything apart from everything that is Doctor
That's true.
Who. But yeah, God, I just love this insufferable show. Even Torchwood too.
I know you do. You can't not.
I can't not. I don't know what it is. I just can't. That's why we're watching Torchwood again, folks. I mean. Just it's tangentially related to Doctor Who, so they go, it's got to be okay, right? It's made by the same people who made it. We're kind of.
I can already tell you he's better than he was in Happiness Patrol because this is not Happiness Patrol.
No, it isn't. I mean, when you think about, a lot of the same people who made Doctor Who made Blake 7, and it's kind of fitting that we have Blake in this episode because it's, I thought maybe it'd be Blake 7 is kind of like the farm team for Doctor Who in a way, and Torchwood is sort of like, hey, well, we've got 6 months off from making Doctor Who, this BBC One flagship show. What else could we do? Make another show. That's
was Blake 7
like
ever
Doctor
actually
Who.
regarded as or is that just us inventing that because we're from North
It's
America?
us. Blake 7 was a remarkably popular show through its entire run. Like it got like 10, 11 million viewers, I think. Maybe it dropped down to like 5 or 6 or 7 or something by the end, but still, like
I really should get my act together and watch the whole thing.
Yes, you should. It's all on YouTube.
Yeah, it's all on YouTube.
It's all on a hard drive sitting across from me, and I've yet to do it.
That too, I guess.
52 episodes, Warren. I tell, like, even it's a show that you could put on in the background because the plots are okay and the direction is okay, but the dialogue is just gold.
Oh yeah, no. What I have
gold.
watched, the dialogue's fantastic. Vila especially is
Vila, yeah.
wonderful.
So you could just have it on in the background and just hear the comments spill out, and that is really the best thing. Chris Boucher, what a writer! What a writer!
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I made a commitment to Sandbaggers, which I'd never really even heard of before, I just did on a whim.
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah, I mean, at least try it out. There's one of the, as we keep talking about Blake 7, when I went through it, I think it was about 9 years ago, I think, Time Hop keeps reminding me. When I went through for the first time, there's a lot of changes that happen that kind of make it hard to keep going. Like, the main cast changes and, Gareth Thomas leaves after season 2 and they changed the guy who plays Travis, and thankfully there's some constants like Jacqueline Pierce.
Right.
that really help to keep you going. But there's a lot that can make you want to stop. That's not.
It's kind of like Clone Wars.
Just,
it's kind of daunting.
The writing and stuff.
Yeah.
Clone Wars is like that too. It's just like, oh, there's a lot of this to plow through. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it just puts me off, even though it shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I went through Star Wars Rebels, kind of the same thing as well. There's more consistency there, but
yeah.
Plus, it's required homework. What the hell is this? What is this nonsense he's playing?
What is
Doom?
I think so.
Something Doom-esque.
Remember desktop themes? Remember when you could change like desktop themes? Like you'd have all these like Windows icons, you could download them, and like all of a sudden your pointer.
Apparently, you can do that now with your iPhone, and I have not bothered to figure out.
Oh God, why would I want to do that again? No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody did that and made it into a Windows 95 phone, which I admire from afar, but I could never do to myself.
No, because you got to live with it eventually. You know, that's the thing.
Well, it's a whole thing with shortcuts, and I'm just like, that sounds like work.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't figure out shortcuts to begin with. What makes you think I'm going to figure it out now?
Listen, I'd have to ask you even what shortcuts is. So, so that's how far down the hole I am, which is not at all.
Well, you're going to make Chris turn this into a Mac podcast.
That's true. Yeah,
Chris, take it away.
Yeah. You don't worry. We'll watch the pool instead, or the billiards.
They said piss.
We can say that now. Splot.
Splo.
Is it splo?
Well, no, it says a line from Yonto that the estate agents pronounce it splo.
Oh, of course they would. God, this is videotape. It's glorious, though. It's glorious location videotape. I feel like I'm watching Survival here. But in a good way, Warren.
Well, there's the giant football stadium that we saw last week.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we did see it last week, didn't they? They, us. But we never strayed from the straight and narrow. We never went here on our Cardiff location tour in 2015. We never walked under many bridges.
No, we were basically in two locations.
Yeah, they went for questionable burgers and.
Yeah, but also bragging rights, because a couple different times I've been like, I've eaten there.
I know.
I
was watching when we did our miniscope on Rachel Talalay when we were watching Hellbent, and like Peter Capaldi's standing in the exact spot where I was, like waiting for my damn burger.
Weird, isn't it?
Where's my burger? I don't care.
Not to make us anything special. Plenty of people have eaten bad burgers there.
But we were there, Warren, and we took pictures. No one else was taking pictures. Yeah. Ooh. Everyone uses uses illicit tech in Torchwood. You thought they learned their lesson 2 weeks ago? No, they didn't.
No, they were just told not to take it home.
Oh, right.
This is different.
You can sign it out. You just got to put it back. Yeah. It is totally the One Ring. He is. Oh, she gets killed or something, doesn't she? By Owen. By the Ripper. Gold, Mr. J.
Nothing good comes of some situation like this.
No. Maybe that's why we never went under this bridge. Dark thoughts.
That's the exact reason, yes.
Dark things happened under that bridge. Kind of creepy stuff here. By Colin Teague.
Oh, Tumbling Teague did this one?
Yeah, I did this one, yeah. It's a lot of quick cuts. I'm quite TV at this time, and I think we had this conversation before about Mandalorian and I almost said Voyager, Discovery, about how it's Discovery is still very quick cuts, but TV itself has become a lot more filmic and perhaps a little more assured of itself to be able to, maintain a scene without having to cut in so many times.
What the hell is up with his hair?
He's one of those cats from the 1950s or whatever year this is, right?
He's a rockabilly.
Yeah, he's a rockabilly guy. He's a mod or something. He's kind of like David Tennant.
Mods are later, aren't they?
He's not a mod or a rocker. He's a mocker.
I think he's David Tennant from Unquiet. Not Unquiet Dead. Idiot's Luncheon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
Mm-hmm. Is he cosplaying? Maybe
except for the whole sexual assault.
That thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you just stand there, Bern.
It's getting uncomfortable.
Just stand
Well,
there.
because he's just
What's he do? Is
witnessing.
that a really terrible digital camera he's got there?
No, it's a knife. Oh, I mean what Harper's doing. Yeah,
No, Burn.
yeah.
No, he's got
I'm not gonna
he's got
bother
the
to
thing
learn his
that
name.
he's got the ghost machine.
That's
Oh,
the-
right.
Yeah, that's the ghost. The titular.
It just
ghost
looks like a
machine.
bad like Fujifilm camera or something,
like my Sanyo that I dragged through
or a really
Egypt.
crap game controller. It looks like the Nokia N Gauge.
There,
That's what it looks like.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
There's a retro reference nobody needed.
No, I don't even know what that is, but I laughed.
Portable console.
Portable is charitable.
From Nokia. Was it based on Symbian? I can't remember.
I don't remember. It was just garbage. It was this big clunky thing. It wasn't portable, and Nokia decided they'd make all their own games, which, Nokia having made Snake, and that's about it. It didn't go well.
Uh-huh.
And you could side talk it. You could actually put it to your head and talk into it, and people just made fun of it.
That predates me. I joined these computer revolutions late, so I don't hear about these things.
I'm surprised, speaking of old phones, we haven't seen a T-Mobile Sidekick or the European derivative thereof. Because those were still kicking around at this time.
They were. I know somebody, I lived with somebody who had one of those, in fact, when I was over there.
I don't remember any phones. When did the iPhone come out? 2008, 2009? I think I asked this last week. 2007. Oh, wow.
Was it 7? Okay.
I don't even remember which one was my first one. I think I got it in 2009, though.
I went down, I think I got the second generation one because I went down to Macworld when they introduced the Air, which I think was 2008, and I bought it outright for $400 at the main Apple store in San
Wow.
Francisco.
Unlocked, because those are the days when you had to do that if you wanted.
Oh, I had to go through a hell at the
Yeah.
Macworld press area to get the damn thing to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember our first galley. I wasn't even in the Mac universe. I remember seeing your Mac and your blue snowball in action, and then I thought, wow, they have phones now too. And
We used my Mac because I just got a new one.
yeah,
And was Warren's Snowball. Yeah.
That sounds obscene.
That was 2 years after this aired. That's like history just seems like a jumble right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that Torchwood. Well, it existed during the whole history of this podcast. We have outlasted Torchwood, is what I mean to say.
Oh, bravo.
Yeah.
What an accomplishment.
Yep. Anyway, we've been talking about computers and stuff, and I've kind of lost the plot in this episode. But
Aliens,
Owen's
Jack
having
is annoying,
PTSD about what
etc.
he saw.
yeah, although oddly enough, we had the first episode, which had a bunch of silly gore and other nonsense in it. And then we had the sex gas one with Chris Chibnall, and now we have Helen Raynor, and all of a sudden everything seems a little bit more mature and like notable and
Yeah.
reputable now. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not going to last.
Yeah. Then the boys come back in and write Cyber Woman. What we need is a Cyber Woman in heels.
I'm sure some of it's going to be attributable to Teague as well, because he is a very good director. But no, it's I don't know, maybe it's because we're third episode in and we know the characters that much better than we did before, but it is more, I don't want to say serious, believable, not realistic.
Grounded?
Grounded.
Sure.
Grounded, yeah.
That works. Yeah.
Like we're probably I don't know what the production schedule on this whole series was, but we're definitely outside of the first production block now. So you get a feeling that maybe they are a little more with it. Although, this is the same people who made Doctor Who. So it's not like Aliens of London at all. And that they've been working on this show pretty much nonstop for like 2 years. And then all of a sudden they make Torchwood, which, sure it's HD, but they're not really shooting HD. They're just shooting it. It just happens to be in HD. They are in no way like saying, look at us, we're HD. We're not going to Dubai on a bus to showcase it.
Yeah, they're lighting this. They're not lighting this like it's HD. That's for
no.
sure. Also, the logo is literally everywhere. How can they possibly be secret?
It's a good logo, but if you're supposed to be a secret organization, don't brandish it everywhere. It's just branded everywhere. It's on the back there on the wood. There's like stencils everywhere. As you
On
say,
earphones.
and the earphones.
Look, the AirPods Max.
Yeah. Blam.
Oh, what clever innuendo.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
going back to, I think it was Everything Changes. There's talk about it going out on New Year's Day, 2007, but
Right.
it went out in October 2006. As I look here,
That makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
so I think New Year's Day was for Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, 2008 maybe.
Why did we think it was New Year's Day? Because that totally makes more sense now.
I don't know.
Here's another question.
I think
Where did we
we-
get
we blindly
Weevil
trusted
targets
your-
printed?
Was that?
Where did they get Weevil targets printed? Do they have their own
They have a
printing
guy.
press here somewhere?
Oh, probably.
They
Everyone's
have a
got
guy. Come on.
Yeah.
It's Torchwood.
Yeah. I feel really dumb. So I
I got a
imagine
laser printer.
if we can remember it, because we're recording this in December, you're hearing this in March, and I apologize. I hope we've apologized for this already 2 weeks ago. But yeah, October 2006 is when this premiered. Boy, why did we think New Year's Day? Why? Why did we think? We just assumed, didn't we?
Because the finale was New Year's Day.
That was it.
As the last two episodes were New Year's Day. As I look at
That
a
was it.
broadcast schedule here.
There we go.
So
That's why
we were right. We just had the wrong end of the series.
Yeah.
As being New Year's Day.
That's why I kind of felt like an anticlimax these last two episodes, because it's almost like, oh, we're just gonna get them out, just get them out there, like just let's get them out, just put them out, like the last 9 classic stories onto VHS just to get them out of the way. Like just whenever people put shows put their 2-part finale on the same night, thinking, are you just sort of like making it epic, or are you just trying to get done with this run and get on to something else? I don't know what the oh, there he goes. There is the confirmation that he doesn't sleep. Because when you can't die, you also can't sleep, because to sleep is to die, to quote William Shakespeare. Probably.
William Shakespeare, who just got inoculated today, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Which the news just couldn't resist. That was total news catnip. William Shakespeare, 87.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like they didn't pick him purposefully.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course they did. And I'm glad this 87-year-old man got inoculated, but it's a little silly, the whole focus on that one name.
Just to date the conversation, everyone. Hope a lot of you are now vaccinated. We're recording this the day that the first person in the world got vaccinated for COVID-19.
Including ourselves.
Yeah. Probably not.
She seemed like a nice old lady.
Oh, you mean hopefully we're vaccinated by the time this goes out?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case. But
No.
I
Seems
doubt it
unlikely.
too.
Ta-ra. I remember that's what Jackie says on the phone to Rose in the street in Rose. Ta-ra. Is that a traditional British saying? Ta-ra. Goodbye. Is that a thing that people say?
You'll hear it all the time on like Coronation Street and some other
wow.
things for sure.
There it is. Coronation Street, which I believe Warren compared this to last week.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
In shooting style.
Mm-hmm. I haven't been paying attention. So everyone basically gets this thing passed through to them. Is it like...
Well, this is Gwen's second turn. And she...
That's true, yeah, because she pressed the buttons when she was chasing...
This is the worst hot potato ever.
Yeah. Like it's random. It's a random time travel device. But not really. Like, that's pretty handy. Look at that. You can just watch personal memories of yourself. I'm not sure I'd want to do that. Be going, oh, God, I thought it was so funny there.
I think it'd be a terrible idea on the whole.
Oh, this is just an Adam Sandler film now, and she's just rewinding if it's TV remote. I remember Kai Owen was at our first Gallifrey one.
So was Gareth David Lloyd.
Hey, he swore.
Yeah, that's right.
Inadvertently.
No, Gareth David Lloyd did.
Gareth David Lloyd
oh,
interrupted us.
Yeah,
doing a recording.
because he was asking Phil Ford to go someplace, to leave us chumps around a bar in Champions and go off someplace fun.
I mean, he's not wrong to do so.
No, I just remember Kai Owen was on Tachyon TV that weekend. That's all. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I think we shared a trip in the elevator, and or me and some other people, and it was just like literally all we talked about was the weather. It was like, what did we say? I've never been this close to anyone who's been on TV before in my life. What are we all going to talk about? Yeah, very nice. Yeah, very nice indeed. Yeah.
How very English of you.
It was just so
British.
banal. God. Oh, terrible. I think he's been in some Welsh language dramas too. Like Kai Owen is properly Welsh. I'm not sure he's like Welsh first language Welsh, but I think he's been in some stuff.
I assume it's still that way. If you go to school in Wales, you have to learn Welsh as part of your GCSEs or O levels or.
Is Wales basically the Quebec of Britain?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I'd say Scotland is closer to the Quebec of Britain, but
as far as like special language rules and such go,
yeah.
So I mean, they both kind of are.
Mm-hmm. There we are. Numerous roles on Welsh language television, as I read his Wikipedia page. Pretty cool. I wish I knew a second language.
Well,
I know
you can
enough French.
Yeah. I have to learn it though. That's the thing. I don't want to learn. But
remember that
I did immersion from kindergarten to grade 8, and what good has it done me? Nothing.
Do you remember that 80s probably? Like the fake commercial about the thing you could plug into your ear and start speaking and it would come out in a foreign language.
What, Babelfish or what?
Well, yeah, basically the equivalent of.
Or
except
Babel.
for speaking and not understanding it.
Oh. No, I don't remember that at all.
Mm.
Is it a universal?
Well, now you can just do that on your phone.
Yeah.
As good as, yeah.
It's not the same, though. That's just translating. That's not learning. There we go.
There we go. There's Blake.
There's Blake. Looking pretty...
He did escape at the end. In that final episode, he did escape.
Avon did not... spoilers for Blake 7, by the way. Yeah.
Traveled back in time. Mm-hmm. It's just hanging out in 2006.
Yeah. See, this all seems a bit too frenetically cut, I feel like a man living in such humble conditions as this, it didn't require all this cutting back and forth. I just feel like some long shots. Maybe the place is so small that there's no chance of you getting a long shot, but like
something a little more kitchen sinky.
Yeah, a little bit. But that's 2006. This is how things are made back then. It's just different. Like, we didn't necessarily need 2 cuts of Owen sitting up, sitting forward, cut to the wide shot, back to this one. I am critiquing Colin Teague's directing style 14 years after the fact, despite television being mostly like this.
10 years after this, he died.
Gareth Thomas or Colin Teague? Yeah.
Gareth Thomas. I do believe Colin Teague is still alive.
No, he fell down the stairs, though, during Series 3. Yeah, fell off a ladder or was it stairs? I can't remember. Maybe fell off a ladder down some stairs. Thus having to bring in Graham Harper for a good chunk of Last the Time Lords, wasn't it? Or was it Sound of Drums? Yeah. No, he already did Utopia, but did Harper, Graham Harper, not Omar.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, you're right. It was episode 12. I think.
Yeah. I can't remember. No, it might have been the last one, I think. I remember distinctly the on the commentary when they're fighting the flying ball things in the barn. It's been a while since I saw that episode. Yeah, that whole sequence was directed by Graham Harper and
Toclafane.
Toclafane, thank you.
Because it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. There we go. But that is yet to come.
I did like that the Toclafane they're just dicks. That's all there was to it.
100%.
They were just jerks.
Yeah.
They're spiteful.
Freaking poor Blake out here.
Also, that's the most cutting the master's ever been. And it's Sim, who's not that cutting a master.
Mm-hmm. He's a good actor, Gareth Thomas. Having only seen him in this and Blake Seven, and a tiny bit. I watched like the first 4 minutes of like what is it? Children of the Corn? Children of the it's some BBC British show from like the 70s, mid 70s, shot in like the Cotswolds, like around the stone circles.
Damn, I know which one.
Children of the Grave, children. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a creepy thing about kids.
It
like
is.
Adults disappear or something.
Yeah, he's in it.
Called?
He's in it.
I know which one you're talking about, though. Any Brit would know.
It's like one of
a
those
certain
things.
age.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. Oh, that one. Yeah, totally. That's the one. Of course, Gareth Thomas himself is Welsh, but the thing was called Children of the Stones.
That's
Children
what
of
it
the
is.
Stones,
Yes.
Yeah.
There's another thing called the Stone Tape, which is not related.
No,
which
I've
is
heard of
apparently
that.
just insanely good, and
Yeah.
I've never watched it.
I'll tell you a little something about the Stone Tape, Warren. It's from 1972, and yet it features OB location videotape. And by my reckoning, I think that's the earliest that I can think of a BBC production that featured OB videotape. Because
Apparently it's terrifying, and it's only terrifying but based solely on audio, which is kind of brilliant.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting. I think I've got that somewhere on a hard drive.
Yeah,
I think somebody
I
sent
don't
it
know
to
where it
me. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's probably on YouTube as well.
Let's do this scene, but wow, wow.
No, don't get up.
Wow.
I think
Did we do that? Did
The
we?
thing is, I love that movie,
Yeah,
but he's kind of a jackass.
he is a bit. But it was the 80s. We celebrated jackasses back then.
It was.
Yeah.
Not like now. We don't do that anymore.
Just like, the stuff
Yeah.
that came out about Jeffrey Jones after the fact. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh, I think there was some disreputable stuff, but I don't know what it was. But
Kitty
He's
porn,
not a good person.
was it that bad? Oh, that's too bad.
something like that.
I didn't know that. Eesh.
Porn that's not legal. Anyway, the Stone Tapes is on YouTube.
Is it really? Oh, wow.
It is indeed.
Is it? And is it OB location videotape, Warren? Confirm this for me, please.
I'm not watching it right now. I'm not going to disturb our recording.
Oh, well, that's mighty kind of you. Thank you for your discretion. Because I'm not showing it. I'm going to look. Talk amongst yourselves there.
Right. Satiate your curiosity.
How come Tosh doesn't get to sit down? How come she has to sit in the back there? And
Jack's not sitting.
oh,
She is the most junior member of Torchwood. No, she's not. Gwen is.
No,
So never
Gwen
mind.
is. Although this makes me miss pubs.
yeah.
Doesn't take much to make me miss pubs, but it definitely makes me miss pubs.
No, I was actually out walking today, and I walked by several closed pubs going, oh, yeah, I forgot. 'Cause I spend most of my time indoors and ignore the outside world.
Speaking of I did look, and as Torchwood plays out here, they're talking to the bar, blah blah blah. The very first, the thumbnail for the Stone Tapes by Nigel Neal is one Ian Cuthbertson, later, of course, of the Reboss operation. So, yes, I will like to watch this later on. Thank you very much. You're welcome. you had me first at OB videotape, and then I discovered that Ian Cuthbertson's in this.
Well, it'll wash the bad taste of Cyberwoman out of your mouth.
Yeah,
How it got in your mouth in the first place, I have no idea.
I might need to save this one. Yeah, exactly. I hope I was right about the OB videotape. Because if I'm not, I'll feel really bad. Almost as bad as thinking that Torchwood aired on in January of 2007. And I am
This
wrong.
guy's super nervous, but he's not drinking his beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am wrong about the OB videotape. I must be thinking about something else. I apologize, listeners. I'm not on the
alright.
ball. I'm just not on the ball here at all.
Mm-mm. It's because you miss pubs.
I miss pubs. I miss those little things that you can press, those little cheap game controllers that take you back into people's timelines and witness murders and stuff.
Yes, the Nokia Engage. That's why you
Yeah.
can't find them anymore.
There it
'cause
is
they're
right there.
dangerous to the space-time continuum.
Yeah, I think it's a Cybermat from the Wheel in Space, actually, looking at it now. But Lego, hey! I believe that is the first mention of Lego in the Doctor Who universe.
It's canon now.
It is canon. They showed Lego in the shop in closing time that Matt Smith was working in. Is in the background. It's mostly Duplo, so it sort of counts. But wow, they mentioned Lego. How about that? And they didn't call it Legos. So well done, Helen Raynor. All
It's like
is
she was
forgiven.
writing just for you.
Maybe she was. Thinking, come on. You like the Sontards too? I wrote these for you as well. I think I like those.
Except that happened after this, but yeah.
I did. Well, it was a further attempt to try and garner my attention, quite obviously.
Mind you, Daleks in Manhattan came out after this as well.
Right.
So presumably this was written first, so this would be her first. Because she would have been script editing Doctor Who by this point, I think.
I think so. I don't know what the timeline is for all this stuff. Yeah, like when did they get, when does the idea of Torchwood come into being? As I said before, we're just going into these things cold and basically learning on the fly. Yo. Helen Raynor.
Padme is dead.
No.
God. It seems that in your rage you killed her.
That's my biggest problem with Revenge of the Sith. There are genuinely great parts of that movie, and then they are just torpedoed by stupidity.
There really
like the whole thing leading up to Darth Vader is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's actually quite tragic, and then he has to go, no, and
I know.
Execute Order 66 is actually kind of great.
Very good point in the movie. That whole scene of Padme and Anakin looking across the city and there's no dialogue at all and that music's going, I thought, holy crap, this is a hell of a movie right here I'm watching. Yeah.
All the weird opera nonsense, they almost had it. And plus, listen, there is nothing cooler than seeing the Emperor and Yoda square off and literally destroy the seats of government. That is pretty rad, I have to say.
Metaphor accepted, yeah.
Well, a really terrible one.
Yeah.
I have the high ground, Anakin. Which a friend of mine says to his kid all the time.
As he should.
Yeah. Yeah, so Helen Raynor, script editor, Doctor Who, evolution. Yeah, I think, well, she obviously wrote this probably before, I want to think, even though it was being close to being made around the same time, close to? I don't know. But she's the first woman to write for Modern Who. That much we know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Torchwood, too, given it's episode 3.
That monitor behind him is scanning a loaf of bread.
Oh, that's cute that he has a rotary phone.
You had Orac in your hands, and now this.
Cigarette acting.
Yeah.
Back when that was a thing.
Oh, those are the days. It just gave so many actors, things to do when they had a cigarette,
Oh, it does. It absolutely gives you something to do with your hands to occupy your brain.
I mean, look at the 1940s. The 1940s and 50s are a perfect example of that.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched Mank, which is more a collection of fun bits than it is a good movie, but there's a lot of cigarette acting in that.
I'm not surprised. I took one look at the trailer 4 months ago and saw, black and white talkie thing, from Netflix, Well,
well, it's David Fincher, so it's still pretty interesting, but it's it's also quite full of itself, I think.
Yeah. Didn't he do one of the Alien movies?
He did, Alien 3.
Yeah.
It was his first film he ever did.
Paul McGann.
Yeah. And then
again, there's a film that isn't great, but has some sterling moments in it.
Wow.
Also, it's got the guy from Attack of the Cybermen, the old Bill, those sort of this fancy.
I remember that. Brian Glover's in it, yeah.
When I saw it in the theater, I'm like, it's him! My sister, who went with me, has been subjected to this garbage for 30-odd years. She's like, oh, yeah, it is that guy.
You're standing up in the theater. Don't you recognize him?
Well, there were tons of Doctor Who actors in it, so I was at least entertained in that way. And there are some great sequences to it. It's just, it's a mess.
I've never seen it. I probably never will. Sorry.
I have the Alien Quadrology or whatever, the Blu-ray set, which has fantastic behind-the-scenes stuff on it.
Oh.
And the Alien 3 behind-the-scenes thing is one of the best.
Oh,
because it just goes through in great detail how he got screwed over.
I love movies that do that.
Tortuous road it was to get to that point in the first place.
Because I'm in the. I mean, it's patently obvious, really, that no one ever sets out to make a bad product. But something happens along the road to make what people had thought was going to be a good thing into a bad thing. And I just love to find out what the process was. How did this fail? Not let's kick it when it's down. Why did it get down in the first place?
I know that's a popular saying for you, but sometimes people do set out to make bad things.
Well,
Like
Hallmark Christmas movies. Yeah.
2005 or whatever, Fantastic Four.
Well,
They
okay.
didn't set out to make anything good. They just had to do something to keep the rights or
Yeah,
some such.
it wasn't even
That's
supposed
true.
to
That's
air.
fair.
It wasn't even supposed to air, though. That's the thing, you know? They just needed to make it super quick and super cheap and make it look like they were, you know, trying a little bit. Trying to, you know, basically icing a full lineup and not tanking for the draft, essentially, is what they were doing. Not the
Trying to
Torchwood.
find- Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So if you want to see
All
a
right.
documentary about utter failure,
Okay.
you should check out They'll Love Me When I'm Dead, which is about Orson Welles trying to make The Other Side of the Wind, which he never
yeah.
actually did. And then Peter Bogdanovich finally got it made a couple years ago. But I've never watched the actual film because I watched the documentary about them making the film. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh God, this is going to be an exercise in torture.
I think
But it's a great documentary.
I think I
about
watched
what
that
a
on
mess
Netflix.
it was.
Yeah. And I don't think there was a mess when they were making Torchwood, from what I gather. Just to
No.
drag this kicking and screaming back into the subject at hand.
The thing is, when we watch Cyberwind next week, we're going to be just ripping it to shreds. So we will be definitely paying attention to that one.
I suppose that's the thing. We like Ghost Machine is like I said, is a perfectly serviceable episode of Torchwood and indeed of television itself, probably. But we know that what's coming ahead of us. We just had Sex Gas Woman last week, and we've got Cyber Woman next week, and it's just like, okay, so let's have a proper episode of TV. But for us, for our purposes, Cyber Woman. Yep,
Yeah. Thanks, Chris Chibnall.
I know.
Although Chibnall also wrote Countryside, so I mean, it's not like he did only bad stuff on season 1 of this.
I suppose so. We'll have to see.
And then he was, what was he? What was his official title for season 2?
I don't know was he executive producer for that? I know he was head writer.
A script editor?
Yeah.
Head writer? Something like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Not a script editor. That's fairly low down the totem pole now, but
He had definitely had an elevated position. I remember that.
mm-hmm. I do like the LEDs up the on the windshield there.
They're so silly, though.
They are enormously distracting, I would have to say. And like an extra blind spot, you know? So, because we've been talking about literally everything but this episode, who is this young man and why is he trying to kill Gareth Thomas? Is he Avon, perhaps?
He's Avon regenerated. There you go. It's all tying together.
He's Callie.
Have you betrayed me? Stand still.
Such a great last episode, by the way, Blake 7. If you haven't seen it, oh, geez. Hey, Raj. Come on. No,
You steadfastly refuse to refer to him as anything other than Raj Blake.
no call for that. Damn it. There have only been, what, I want to say 3 of the leads of Blake 7 all time were on Doctor Who. Yeah, now, or related franchises.
What's his name from Sunmakers?
Yeah, we got Michael Keating, who played Villa. We got Paul Darrow, of course.
Yeah.
And we got Gareth Thomas now. And that's it.
Well, he was in Torture. He was in A Big Finish, I think. But he wasn't in Doctor Who.
I'm sure that I think maybe like Callie, I can't remember, Jan Chappell plays Callie. I think she might have been in a couple of Big Finish Doctor Who stuff maybe too. But
Peter Tuddenham?
Certainly Peter Tuddenham. He did. He was voices in a couple of Rodney Bennett directed stuff. He's a voice in Ark in Space in the computer. I think he was in.
Okay.
He voiced someone in Mask of Mandragora, also directed by Rodney Bennett.
Okay, so that's 3
That's
proper.
Zen
then,
/ yeah. He also did
Zen
Horak
and
too.
Horak,
Yeah, and then you get into guest actors, and it's just like nonsense. It's like you literally get the impression that they are shooting Blake 7 while Doctor Who is on lunch. Think, okay, get the wig on. Got to come over here into TC7 to shoot a scene in Blake 7 before you go back and beat up some mandrels.
Oh, Blake.
Come on, Raj.
Yeah.
No, I'm doing it.
Raj, Blake.
It's hard not to.
It is tough.
A tiny little. Okay, I'm not a medical person by any stretch of the imagination, but a reasonably tiny little blade like that and a big fat guy like that, I don't know if that'd be fatal. Necessarily. It depends what you get.
I'm sure that's not very much cushioning.
No,
well, I mean, if you had an organ or something, obviously that's different. But
it's placement.
His guts aren't made of Kevlar.
It's placement. That's all. Like I didn't quite see where.
Somewhere in the gut.
So is it just gut? I mean, I feel like might have got him near the heart or something. I don't know.
Well, I can tell you right now, I've got a friend who's a cop, and he said he'd much rather square off against somebody with a gun than a knife, because if they've got a knife and they're close enough, you're going to get hit. And if they got a gun, almost nobody can actually shoot a gun properly. Like everybody thinks it's easy because they see it on TV, and it is staggeringly difficult to do properly. That's why cops are trained to do it.
Yes.
And even then, it's like that's part of why I stopped watching The Walking Dead. Besides, it got really boring. They were just taking out zombies from moving cars with shotguns, with headshots. I'm like, okay, that's fun in a video game, but come on, every one of you are doing headshots. No,
you've got like auto lock on. Just yeah,
exactly. Which again, very convenient in a video game. But if I'm watching it on TV, I'm like, just there's no jeopardy. You're just going to take out these zombies.
Mm-hmm. God, it's traumatic because Gwen's in a trauma blanket there. Not really though. It's not foil like at the end of Sherlock, but
is it weighted? Is it a weighted blanket?
Might be. Yeah, perfectly cromulent episode of coughs and sneezes, spread diseases, wear a mask. 2021. They knew in Torchwood 2006.
21st century is when everything changes.
It literally is, Captain Jack.
2020 was everything goes to crap.
Yeah. What a sullen episode.
That was a very 80s music video Thompson Twins pan.
A little bit. Bonnie Tyler ask, yeah.
I'd forgotten about Jack being like a makeshift confessional for Gwen. This is not the first time it's happened in 3 episodes.
Opposed to a dashboard confessional, but should probably hip and in vogue at the time. What just wandered in front of the camera there? It was
atmosphere.
It was just a
literal
weird
atmosphere.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but
passerby, bad security.
Probably like the DP. Oh, damn it!
Mm-hmm. Didn't know I was in shot. That's a nice building off in the distance. I don't know which one that is, but
Torchwood 6.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, we're gonna do this.
Oh dear.
That's very those little animated like pokey things were very Rise of the Cybermen.
Yeah, well, that's probably where they got them from.
Isn't that where, in the story where they got them from? Like they get this from Cybus?
Well,
something
the fact
along those
it's in a
lines.
parallel universe, I don't remember.
No, okay, this has been 10 years.
We'll find out next week. Oh my god! Oh my god!
That is the most impractical outfit ever. Like it's just silly.
Let's face it.
It's like they're like, okay, so Leia gold bikini. What can we do to one up that?
Or one down it, in fact.
Man.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you saw it, folks. You saw it there.
You can't unsee it.
Next week, as the credits finish off with CBC at the end, we're going to watch Cyberwoman. This might be the impetus for doing this series of commentaries, just so we could get to Cyberwoman to see what the hell is going on in 2006. To think, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this one right there. I remember at the time liking it. I'm thinking, wow, what an emotional wallop, and there's like crazy...
Of course you did.
Yeah. 2006 me was very, very wrong, as I'm sure we'll probably figure out and find out next week on this here podcast. So until then, I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.
You've been listening to Radio Free Skaro. Find us online at radiofreeskaro.com. Follow us on Twitter and Tumblr at Radio Free Skaro. Subscribe to us on iTunes and donate to the show at patreon.com/Radio Free Skaro. Thank you.